Hi everyone, here's the intuitive painting of the week for July 1st through the 7th, 8th, so the week ahead. And here's the image that came about. The oracle card is called Windswept Harmony. It's all about letting yourself feel those wonderful, happy, loving emotions, surrendering and letting go into love, and that's what will bring greater harmony within yourself. So the oracle card will be available and be sent out on August 1st for anybody who's a collector throughout the month of July, and the original painting will go out also to anyone who's a co-creator or collector by August 1st or July 31st, 30th, you know. So here's again a look at the image and the nail, and let's do the analysis. All right, let's take a look at this week's painting. So it's full of color and it's very vibrant and fun, and that's kind of the energy. I think we just went through kind of an ascension or an up-leveling of our energy. Things are kind of breaking open. If anybody's been going through some dark night stuff, dark night of the soul, like stuff coming up or whatever, it's kind of an invitation to enjoy the new energy, right? So that was one of the first things I noticed, was just this beautiful, vibrant, colorful background. And I want to kind of bring it in so you can see some of those pretty pinks and yellows and teal and bright green. The clouds things are blooming. There's music in the air. It's a really hopeful and fun and lively painting for this week. So lots of good stuff happening ahead. And so the very first thing that I was drawn to were these two spots. If you watch the time lapse, it was just kind of like these two spots that evolved into this couple, this like male and female energy kind of joining together and gazing at each other. Let me go a little closer so you can see. So if you can see, and it's teeny tiny. So here's the tip of my paintbrush. These are very, very small images. But in that, I was able to get quite a lot of detail, which was kind of fun. It was fun for me. So the whole thing was kind of fun, and that's what it felt like. Now, what's interesting is when I was working this out, there was some resistance within me. There was like, oh my gosh, is that energy is the male energy overpowering the female energy? And it's kind of this back and forth. So I wanted to talk about this, and one of the things that I want to make really clear is anytime that we do dream interpretation, or any kind of interpretation of our artwork, it's every aspect of it. This music note, this tree, this couple, her and him, the color pink, all of it is some aspect of self. So the images are aspects of self. So whether you're male or female, it's not about another person, or it's not so much about some romantic coupling, although it could manifest in your life as a loving relationship. But really what I'm feeling is they are a symbol of that feeling when we meet someone, and the feeling I keep hearing, like new lovers, like that wonderful summertime love, that this young couple and they just are swept away, like that feeling of being swept away, but not necessarily by someone else, but by your own passions and desires and dreams and visions for yourself, and that loving, all those wonderful emotions that come up when you have a great idea, or when you have a clear vision for what you want to unfold in your life, and the music starts playing and you just want to dance and get lost in they're kind of lost in each other's eyes. They're kind of in their own little world, and that is the feeling, that is the energy that's it's kind of inviting you into that. So let yourself, the words that came up for the oracle card is windswept harmony. It's kind of being swept away, being carried, and just feeling safe, that those emotions that you feel. Because sometimes what happens is And I think that's where the resistance came up, like, oh my gosh, it's, is it safe to let myself go into this? And I heard the word surrender, and as I was painting, was like, surrender, let go, right? And that can be very scary for some people. But I heard, I think it was an artist who, I think it was Doris Klein. She's a watercolor artist, and she's also a sister in the congregation of St. Agnes up in Wisconsin. But she said, surrender is letting go into love, letting go into the divine love. And that's what it feels like, is letting go into love. You're not just letting go. You're not just like hanging there with nothing. You're letting the beauty of your emotions sweep you off your feet and carry you away. And that's totally safe, and that's what the message is here. And so they have like this, so their skin is yellow, there's yellow in here, so it's all about like personal identity. There's this accidental, nothing's really accidental, but this heart, I noticed behind them, there's kind of like this green and pink, which is that heart chakra energy. It's all about love. It's all about this blooming, and it's just a really good, and then, so then there's like this water down here, which is about self-reflection. Their physical forms are not reflected, but their light is, and becomes this music, becomes the essence, the sound, the vibration of love, of self-love and harmony with the self. So it says, like the card says, let go into love and allow it to move you. This kind of creates this infinity symbol, this energy, like what am I looking for? Like the life force energy that we find through breath, through meditation and our core, and that rising energy within us. And that comes from, it's like, have that gaze, that loving gaze that might be found. We might see that between two new lovers. We're like, oh my gosh, I just love everything about you, and I can't see anything wrong with you yet. Like, see yourself with that kind of gaze is really what it feels like. It's the two parts of yourself, the active and the receptive, the male, female, but more so like the active, receptive, the practical, the intuitive, like dancing together, allowing those energies to move together, and then doing some self-reflection and recognizing that your energy, that you are this wonderful, creative, moving force, and flowing with that, dancing with that, loving that, and just letting it carry you away, because that's what's gonna carry you to what you truly want. It's what's gonna help you feel in harmony with yourself. All the what we think are two opposing parts of ourselves, the practical and the non-linear, the spiritual and the the stuff that we think about for survival, and the stuff we think about for spiritual, mystical enjoyment and fulfillment. And those things are all working together. They all are dancing in this wonderful harmony. So yeah, that's what's kind of coming about this week. So my wish for you is that you allow yourself to feel it and receive it and enjoy this courtship with yourself, really. That yellow representing the personal identity, dancing in your heart, full acceptance and love without, it's a conditional thing. This two humans looking at each other in an early fondness. Sure, it's conditional, but find the conditions, look for love where you'll find it, and that kind of sparks that unconditional positive regard, where you can see yourself that way, where you can do no wrong. You are just beautiful and wonderful, and get into that space of that. All right, so that's the painting of the week for July 1st through the 8th, 2018. Have a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.